Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, October 11, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, no outside distractions, relaxed into your body, still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. We're moving not down but up in frequency. And we will begin to realize that the ultimate, all-powerful, omniscient self is who we truly are. This means we must choose to go beyond every idea, concept, and boundary which we have defined ourselves to be. Beyond the beyond. And we're going there. Not all at once, but more and more are discovering the magic within. What does that mean? So we're in a physical body, right? But we are beyond the physical form all day long. And yet we have a direct experience of it with everything and everyone. We feel and sense a reverence for the spiritual being we truly are, that is not separate from this world around us. It is the most profound awakening process one can have, which expands within you every moment of the day, becoming an integrated aspect of everyday life. And there really is no deeper transformation in consciousness that any human can have than becoming self-realized. The change in perspective is so completely radical and utterly life-morphing that your life nothing else can compare. Take the most profound experience of your life and then stretch it so it continuously grows and expands 24 hours a day. This is a taste of what self-realization is like. Your entire experience of reality is so different. It's as if you had been an Eskimo living in Antarctica for 70 years, and then you decided to pack your bags and permanently move to Hawaii. The reason why it is so important to understand, comprehend how ridiculously different the experience of self-realization is because it helps the mind drop any possible attempts to formulate a hardened concept about it. What it actually is cannot be grasped by the mind. The more the mind tries to think that it knows what self-realization is, the further you drift away from the experience of it. There is no mental concept in this universe that can prepare you for self-realization other than a perpetual willingness to surrender into the mystery and curiosity of it. We would all like a formula for a way to live life that is more enlightened and liberating. The challenge is that every formula that works once is not going to work forever. All formulas last for a limited period of time, and then we outgrow them. This is because the nature of our consciousness is meant to expand. become more flexible and diversified. It is only through absolute surrender to the infinite, this infinite universe, can self-realization be invoked. And gifted to you. This level of surrender means you're inviting in the feeling that anything is possible, which means you must let go of just about everything you have known to be true. In your eyes, what you believe is true. It's not easy to let go of our beliefs. Yet it is the only way we will ever find the experience of being truly free. To identify oneself with the body and yet to seek happiness is like attempting to cross a river on the back of an alligator, Ramana Maharishi. We could sit there and say, well, it's not we identify through the body, right? And the deal through the body is that it's not us. It's almost like you, the God, hovers almost not quite, but like above the body, but you're connected to the body. And you're watching everything. Okay? Now the body, most of us, the body isn't aware that you are the God. Okay? And the body is directed, guided by ego mind. And we are not truly free until we come across self-realizations that you say, I am the God within this body. Right? You do it however you feel good with it. I am the pure light of consciousness. I am all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. I am an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. Right? You're directing that not to the body, but to the God that you are. Now, for most of us, to begin this, it's a seemingly impossible spiritual quest for freedom. Because people say, well, I'm already free. I don't need to do a spiritual quest. I'm already free. What, in reality, you're not. It all begins with inquiring into the source and center of who and what you actually are. You're God. You're pure consciousness. You never die. You're in a body that you're experiencing, so to speak, right? And you're experiencing material, physical life. You direct that body into a conduit of directing through the universe of a omnipotently powerful manifester. When you relax, meditate, and dive into the center of you, there you will first find the mind and its stories about you. And the infinite experience of who is behind these thoughts. It comes from diving into the center of your presence, your essence. And there you can go into it for infinity. There is always another experience within the center of each experience. Eventually, this is how we become centered within our spiritual essence. In this life, it is always the most random, expansive feelings which redirect our attention away from who we think we are. and towards rediscovering our unlimited creative source of consciousness. If and when you notice, whenever you talk about yourself, you usually refer to the words me, my, or I. When you feel into the experience of me, my, or I, what do you notice and perceive is there? Look for a long period of time. You must be infinitely patient with this inquiry because it is the first step towards uncovering the real you, the God, and it is vastly deep and transforming. The longer that you can maintain a focus of inquiring who or what I am, the faster you will realize the shocking truth of who and what you actually are. Imagine for a moment that picture a circle, okay, outlined back on a white paper. Let's put it that way. In the center of the circle, there's a little teeny dot. Okay? Now that dot represents everything in our future we have yet to see, experience, and know and learn. It contains our intuitive higher self that says who and what we are, includes the ego, mind, body, yet also welcomes everything beyond it as well. Meaning, you could find yourself knowing who you are is not just your body, yet anything around you. You could feel yourself to be a tree, an animal, plant, being, the sun, the moon, the star, the planets. You could extend your idea of yourself into anything and everything in this entire universe. The circle represents every piece of information that you don't know is on Google, as well as in all the buried ancient history books and Akashic records throughout time. Now, when you look closer at the circle, you'll see there is an outer circumference where the black edge meets the pure white background. This white background can expand into infinity. This edge represents the edge of the unknown and is where the experience of self-realization is found. We must choose to not only let go of identifying ourselves as a body-mind, yet also be continuously expanding our sphere of what we know is the unknown and surrender to the unknowable. You can call this infinite white expansive space God, love, consciousness, source, or any word that works for you. However, the truth is that there is no word large enough to describe this boundary-less container which allows for everything in this universe to play upon it. This is the great mystery of life, which every mad scientist fights with to understand or comprehend. Yet the mind will always be too small of a container to get it. This is why so many of us don't get it. To fully experience and realize who and what we actually are, we must choose to realize and release anything that can be known with the mind, anything, and surrender into the infinite mystery behind it all. It is in this direct relaxation into our foundation that we find our spiritual connection and our boundless infinite potentiality. We instantly realize that we are a spirit being who is beyond this body, beyond time, beyond all places, shapes, and forms. When you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself. Wayne Dyer. By living everyday life on this outer edge of infinite possibilities, we become rooted in the deepest truth of who we truly are. We experience enlightened relationships with everyone in our lives because we see they are also a part of the mystery living in this great unknown. We then become this ever-growing expansion of godly experience that is always increasing in love, joy, curiosity. And when we find this infinity within us, where all thoughts and forms abide in, we can rest in a state of pure consciousness. It is from this resting within the core of our real self where we can effortlessly allow everything to be in perfect order. Seeing the divine is orchestrating this universe to blossom exactly the way it needs to. The experience of self-realization can come and go in an instant. We do not need to meditate for 40 years to get it. It all begins with the choice in each moment to let this go of any identification we have with this body-mind and exchange it for a more expansive experience of life. So it's partly pure intention and part total surrender. We must choose to go from thinking we are limited human beings with many problems of this world to knowing we are on a great spiritual journey through an unlimited life. This leap requires absolute risk and trust, as the nature of the mind, ego, identity is to cling to the old. It wants to find security and that which does not change. Yet everything of this world changes. And the only thing that does not change is the infinite background. And the only way to real freedom in this life is through changing our perspective. When we can shift from thinking I live in the body to the body lives in me. Our reference point to me, myself, and I is expanded. We are no longer imprisoned to just the body and mind. We realize we are the unknowable. The identification with who we are is then found in everything. We experience life beyond the known and unknown circles of information we think are there. Self-realization is huge. However, it is not too huge to experience it in our daily lives. For it to root and be real, we must be willing to practice integrating this expansive perspective on a physical level. We must choose to find complete relaxation in all the feelings and memories, ideas of who we are now, and everything that we will become. It is through the deepest acceptance of our small self that we can expand into our unlimited self. We are forever going to be this tiny dot that is also expanding into this infinite universe that exists around us. This is life. We have no other choice yet to accept it and relax into the deep, eternal loving and accepting divine blackboard that is behind it all. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. Andre Guide. Now, we've all had many lifetimes. Not that we remember them, right? And through the course of these lifetimes, we all seem to get pulled into this feeling of falling off the path. When the frail, egoic human persona takes over, we tend to get wrapped up in identifying ourselves as small, limited, powerless, time-bound beings who are temporarily imprisoned in a physical human form. The human experience can hypnotize us into believing, like most of us in this very now moment, that we are lost, poor, insecure, unhappy, or simply off track. And the powerfully good news is that the truth is always much bigger than the mind can fathom. Whenever we perceive life to be some random, challenging, confusing experience, take an afternoon to digest these 5 entries. They will open up the inner avenues of your connection so you reestablished a heartfelt relationship with your spiritual essence and soon discover the all-powerful, magical, manifesting being you truly are again. The first step to opening the doorway to meeting your sacred soul starts with feeling into your basic core nature. In other words, who are you at the very innermost core level? You, every one of us, are a super powerful divine being, period. Exploring this exposes us to become the highest authority of our reality and our life, where you decide what is real and what is not. You are the one who is constantly seeing, believing, and perceiving the reality you think is true. The mind is always right about what it believes is real. It's never wrong about what direction it's thinking and believing. Even if you fall off the deep end and you believe 2 plus 2 is 6, the mind will be very righteous about that. And there are people like this. The mind is all coiled up in an old habit of making up fantastic stories about who and what you are and are not. And when this mind drops, you drop into your core basic nature, mindless, still, and free from all thought, like in these meditations. The mind will still try to say that you are not enough of this and too much of that. Do not listen to the mind. Listen to your heart instead. There is an unlimited field of loving, sweet energy in your heart, which is the doorway to having a full body, deeply healing, spiritual awakening experience. Now, the second step to revealing your soul is found within this space-time continuum. Where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in that space. You'll discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. The more we can relax into our center, the easier it becomes to realize there never, ever was anything wrong with you. That was all just a big fancy show of the mind, fabricating new stories again. Your soul is beyond the mind, always has been, always will be. It is the ever-present, eternal witness at the core essence of you, and is always there, always available, and ready to be explored. This is the inner journey everyone is seeking. It's the one that can take lifetimes to discover. And until we find it, we cannot know deep, everlasting peace. That's why looking outside of ourselves, generation after generation, eon after eon, is futile. But don't worry, it is predestined that you will find your soul. This spiritual stream of sacredness follows us wherever we go. When we can really relax deep down into the core of our being, the eyes of the soul begin seeing through us. We can perceive this universal spiritual path within the mundane and comprehend how it's truly impossible to screw up this life. And when we relax, we begin to truly trust life. We can feel like we have an infinite amount of time, energy, resources, creativity, and knowledge to get it right. Only in a very deep relaxation, like these meditations, can we surrender enough to bathe in our soul's true eternal essence. The ego and mind are set on the back burner. There is no second guessing about if we have arrived in the parking lot of our soul or not. It's so obvious. It's like the difference between knowing the sun is shining or not. There is only this pure feeling of knowing and getting that we are all unlimited, unbounded, perfect beings, connected to each moment to an infinite stream of conscious, intelligent energy. The soul makes us wake up and realize that we can do the impossible. Its energy is so powerful, eternal, and cannot be changed. The more we relax into this comprehension, the more we stop fighting with our mind and its list of unfulfilled desires. We simply give up following our thoughts blindly around and begin relaxing beneath them into the quiet solitude underneath the mind, which makes everything in this life more interesting and less challenging than it needs to be. Now, third step is to unveiling your spiritual amazingness is in the practice of a thing called trust. This universe is always protecting you, helping you, serving your highest good. It has never abandoned you and is always here assisting you to blaze through your challenges and find your greatest possible joy in life. And when you trust in this process, everything changes in your perception and reality. This universe is conspiring in your favor. It wants what you want. Be a pronoiac, not a paranoiac. Just notice what it feels like to sit back and relax into the feeling of trusting in this universe and knowing it is guiding you. And when we practice the Trust Five, we can listen easily to the subtle hints from the universe. We know our life purpose and spiritual direction, and we stop ignoring them. Trusting signs are there. We look for them, take heed, and stop getting in the way of our highest possibility. It is in trusting this universe that we can give ourselves permission to manifest the most amazing, miraculous life we could ever imagine. We actually get what we truly want through trusting. We stop settling for a fear-based, rushed lifestyle that we do not really desire. I invite you right now to take time to settle yourself into the energy of trust right now. Breathe it into your body. Feel it inside your heart. Practice this one all day long, all night long, and notice how good this feels. See if you can notice how many ways this universe is guiding, assisting, and protecting you in the next 48 hours. It is an amazing feeling when you can remain in the state of trust all week long, as it is this energy which opens the door to let your soul's full presence to come flying through. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. When we look beyond our physical existence, we will soon discover the subtle realms and experience the infinite quality of our soul. Take a single glimpse into what is beyond the physical 3D world. It will reveal everything you need to know. Let something higher from the beyond enter you. For 5 seconds at least, 20 times randomly today. Allow yourself to feel the subtle energy inside your physical body. Tune into that emotional and super subtle energy you feel vibrating within your being. Get curious about what it is like and where it's coming from. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, October 12, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.